Good morning, everyone. I'm really excited that the FAIRsFAIR Roadshow series visits Romania. Unfortunately, I can't join you live today. Still, I wanted to show my face and start you off today with a quick overview of the main characteristics of the project to set the scene for the rest of the workshop. Here you see a quick overview of the project. The project FAIRsFAIR has a duration of 3 years. The project started off in early spring 2019 and is well on its way. The project ends early next year, as you can see. In the project, we have a core consortium of 6 different partners. DANS is the project coordinator. Next to DANS, we have the European University Association, the Digital Curation Center in the UK, Trust IT Services, CSC in Finland, and the Science and Technology Facilities Council. And together we form the core consortium. But there are many more partners in the project, as you can see on this slide. In total, we are with 22 partners in the FAIRsFAIR team, and those partners come from 8 different member states in the European Union. And with this group, I believe we have a nice diversity of organizations. We have research performing institutes, like a couple of universities. We have several service providers, and we also have 2 international organizations in the team, the Research Data Alliance and CoData. Here you see the overall goal of the project. FAIRsFAIR aims to supply practical solutions for the use of the FAIR data principles throughout the research data lifecycle. And in doing that, we have a strong focus on fostering a FAIR data culture and on the uptake of good practices in making data fair. With all of this, there is a very strong link with the realization of the European Open Science Cloud, the EOSC. The EOSC is presently being created, and that piece of work already started off in 2015. And the EOSC is meant to become a trusted, virtual and federated environment that cuts across borders and also across scientific disciplines, and has the aim to store, share, process, and also reuse digital objects. So the mission of this project, FAIRsFAIR, is to implement the FAIR principles in all the policies, practices, data, and services of this European Open Science Cloud. Another way of looking at that objective is to say that this project is meant to follow up on and also to implement the recommendations on turning FAIR into reality. These recommendations were produced in 2018 by an expert committee that was commissioned by the European Commission. So this all means that the project is active in a very complex environment, and that it is focused on targets that are still moving around to a certain extent. Not everything is yet fixed in stone. And I think this overview nicely illustrates this crowded and complex EOSC landscape that we have created in Europe. You can see many projects. On the left-hand side, you see also FAIRsFAIR in the left-hand corner. You see many other EOSC-related projects, but also, for example, on the right-hand side, you see the cluster projects in which the ESFRIs collaborate and many other FAIR-related initiatives. In the middle, you see the EOSC governance structure. And this these red boxes, the EOSC governance, is already a little bit outdated. And that shows that everything is still very much in flux, because at the moment we are starting up in the EOSC 14 new task forces, and the working groups that you see here are disappearing. So a complex context for this project. Now, our main instrument to navigate that turbulent sea is what we call our Synchronization Force. This is an internal body of the project that is aimed at liaising and aligning with our external partners. And one of the achievements of this group is the overview that you see here. This overview presents a snapshot, you could say, in time of the level of implementation that is given by the EOSC-related projects of those 27 recommendations on making data and services fair in the EOSC that I just mentioned. So you see here the 6 pillars with the different recommendations, and the diamonds that you see are filled to a certain extent, and that reflects the level of implementation of those recommendations by the various projects within the EOSC. Here you see an overview of the different work packages that we have in FAIRsFAIR. As you can see, work package 1 and 5 are quite cross-cutting. They deal with the project management and with engagement and communication. Work packages 2 and 3 focus on fair practices and policies, both more technical and also really policy focused, looking at the leadership of research performing organizations and funders, for example. Work package 4 concentrates on certification of repositories, and the work packages 6 and 7 really dive into training and professionalization aspects. And as you can see at the bottom of the slide, many of the activities cut across more than one work package. Like I said, the project is well underway, and it already produced a multitude of outputs. And here you see the FAIRsFAIR Zenodo community, and as you can see at the top, there are in total 116 results openly available in Zenodo. And I would suggest everybody to have a look at all of that and to see whether there's anything interesting for you there. So the results in FAIRsFAIR come in many shapes and forms. There is an emphasis on fair policies and practices, and we develop a very broad range of activities, ranging from supporting semantic interoperability, like I just mentioned, also to the formulation of policy recommendations for funders and publishers. A lot of work also concentrates on certification and support for fair enabling trustworthy digital repositories, but for example, also on developing tools for fair data assessment. The Fuji tool and the FAIRware tool are examples of that. There is also a substantive strand of activities focused on training and professionalization. And here we work, for example, on the development of guidelines for higher education institutions, how to implement fair data competencies in their curricula. And we also develop and run data stewardship courses, and we created a fair data forum. The project receives vital support from 2 bodies. First of all, we have the high-level advisory committee, which consists of a group of international experts who deliver independent expert advice on the strategy and the implementation of the project. And next to that, we are very proud of our European group of FAIR champions. Those champions are scientific experts and doers in the area of fair data, and they really work as our FAIR ambassadors in the world. So I think I will stop here, but you will no doubt hear about our work in much more detail in the different presentations of my FAIRsFAIR colleagues that are yet to come. I wish you an informative and very inspiring workshop, and I thank you very much for your attention.